How's it going, Reddit? I'm going to be doing some Mario Maker level reviews for the traditional Mario Maker subreddit. Right now I'm going to be looking at one called SMBR 51 Future Foes by a guy named Rad's Prower. Let's take a look. So in his description here, he was saying that it's Super Mario Bros. Levels with non-Super Mario Bros. Gameplay elements. And we'll take a look here. So far it's starting out a lot like World 1-1. I'm seeing a lot of regular Mario Bros. Elements, but it looks like there's a drop-off there. Now I tried running off that cliff and I found that it's one thing that's kind of bad about that is that if you do run off there, sometimes people will place blocks, you know, just right out of the outside of the range of where you can see them. So sometimes you actually need to go out that way. Since there's basically no way to survive going out there, I think that maybe having an arrow would be a good idea right there. I do like the fact that right where the initial one-up mushroom is in Mario Bros. Original, that they had a question mark block here and you can get a secret. One thing I noticed was that's the only place that you'll actually get a fire flower in this stage, which is pretty cool. For the most part it's designed to be played in super form, but if you're good enough then you can go find the secret. If you can figure out what they mean. Now when we go up here, we got a regular mushroom. And that's all you'll see in terms of power-ups. Just some regular mushrooms. Gonna try and keep this fire flower if I can. Now, I'm not really sure what's in this question mark block, but it's nearly impossible to get it though. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna try and sink down here. You might see what I'm saying here. I'm just clearing this out so I can demonstrate this. So suppose I want to go down here, right? Well, I'm basically blocked. I can get small to get it, but the thing is that I don't really want to do that. But if I wanted to keep my my fire flower, well, it's a one-up. But you got to be small to get it because the thing is I haven't found a way of going down there and getting that without losing everything. I suppose it's kind of an expert mode if you want to be hardcore. So there are two paths you can take here. Well, looks like one of them goes to another one-up I found. So they are rewarding people who try. So those spikes there are pretty easy to avoid if you just mash the jump button. Cheeps aren't all that hard to avoid over here either. If you just swim up, that is. I can see that he's trying to reward people for taking the harder path. I'd have 2 one-up mushrooms so far if I was playing it in 100 Mario Challenge, and I'd like that quite a bit. I like the way that the background is done here, where with the semi-solid platforms, he's able to make a more interesting background environment. You got 2 different colors, you know, and then all the reeds and everything. Now I noticed if you go up on the top road, and then you take, if you keep on going there, then it will skip this entire section. There's 2 Hammer Brothers here, pretty easily taken out. And there's our third secret one-up mushroom, which is nice. I have 3 of them so far, which is good if you're playing in 100 Mario Challenge. And now we got some of those non-Super Mario Bros. Enemies. Though they're pretty easy to avoid because as soon as you hop on one of them, then it goes right away. So this part over here is pretty easy to, like if I were to get hit right here, I'd just still be able to run to the goal. But if you're small Mario, it might make it a bit harder. Now if we were to go back in here, and we were to take a look at the other path, we'll see what happens. I'll fast forward. So, at this junction here, if you wanted to take the other path instead of going through that pipe, and you're faced with two more choices. Ultimately, these both lead to the same place, but if you go up here, then you get a mushroom, and if you go down on below, then you can go up. Get it. This here is obviously the harder path. And if you take the lower one, then you're rewarded with no enemies to face, which is nice. Not that it helped me much. And now when you come up here, you're at the same place, but you skipped all the Monty Moles. And you can get to the end. Yeah, I like the design of this level overall. I like the background. I liked all the semi-solid platforms. They were able to make a interesting looking level. It was pretty easy. Not a lot of bad enemy placements. I'd say the only thing is like at the beginning where you had that one leap, you know, that could probably frustrate somebody in the 100 Mario challenge because they might expect something to be over there and then it's not. So, like if there's an arrow pointing back and then saying, you know, don't go that way, then it's on you, you know, if you jump in there. And seemed like most of the future foes that the level was talking about were near the end instead of in the beginning, because most of that stuff, except for the semi-solid platforms were underground, it was mostly all stock Mario Bros. Enemies until the end. But I like this one. It was a good level. See you guys next time.